Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Sports Blitz here, and we're back with my NFL Week 5 power rankings. NFL Week 4 is officially in the books, and there was a lot that happened, so let's go ahead and get into it, start breaking it down. I want to say, a big impact here is who each team is playing. Like, for instance, I'll say, the Vikings lost, but they lost to the Browns, and it was really competitive. So that's not going to be something that I move them down a lot, So there's a lot to take in mind here. I'll explain each of these spots from power rankings, but tomorrow I will also be doing my Week 5 picks, so make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video so that, you don't miss any content. I also do a lot of NFL news if you're interested in that, so, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like, and let's jump into it. So, 32, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're moving down a spot. They played against the Cincinnati Bengals. They played fairly tough, but ultimately lost. I've said multiple times I'm not confident in Urban Meyer. I don't really have a reason to be confident in him. I'm sure all of you guys have seen, the whole bar video. I thought that was extremely unprofessional of him. I did see that he apologized, but, you just can't put yourself in those situations. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Urban Meyer as a coach or as a person, if I'm being honest. So, that's why I have the Jags right there. 31, I have the Texans. Now, I'll be honest. The Texans have kind of exceeded my expectations through these first 4 weeks of the season. I know it's been really tough because Tyrod Taylor went down pretty early. And Tyrod was playing really, really well, actually. I will give Tyrod his credit there. He has been playing very well. But, ever since he went down, this team just isn't doing much. I'm not sure how much longer Tyrod is going to be injured. So, because of those injuries, I think they deserve to be in a lower spot. And they got annihilated by the Bills. That was a great performance by Josh Allen and their defense, actually. Texans just didn't perform at all. So, number 29, I have the number 30, I have the Atlanta Falcons going down by 1. They kept it close. It looked like they were going to beat Washington, but, they blew the lead. Let Washington come back and win the game. They were competitive, but I don't think Arthur Smith is the guy as of right now. The offense, I feel like, has been playing well, but the defense is just, it's looked like the Falcons' defense. It's been bad. It has been a very bad defense. So I can't put the Falcons higher than this. 29, I have the Lions dropping by 3. Now I've been hyping up Dan Campbell a lot, and I still really like him. I'm still a big fan of Dan Campbell, but they got pretty well worked by the Bears. That was a game I was expecting the Lions to actually win. I didn't know going into the game that Matt Nagy wasn't going to be calling plays anymore. So that plays a big impact in it. I feel like if Nagy was calling the plays, it wouldn't have been as creative, and Lions could have very well won that. But, I thought the play calling was a lot better. So, Lions just didn't perform against the Bears, so I'm dropping them to 29. At the 28th spot, I have the Philadelphia Eagles going down by 1. And I'll say they actually kept it pretty competitive with the Chiefs, but I would say that is honestly more due to a bad Chiefs defense rather than the Eagles playing that well. I am a fan of Jalen Hurts. I think he is a good quarterback. I think he is the guy for Philly. Devontae Smith also had a great game, but I mean that Philadelphia defense allowing 42, that's not acceptable. Philly just didn't really perform well for that game. 27, I have the New York Giants jumping up 5 spots after an overtime win against the Saints. Guys, I think Saquon might be back. Saquon is looking healthy now. He's getting more involved, and he's playing well. Excuse me. Daniel Jones threw for over 400 yards. This team's starting to put it together. Now, the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is, will it be consistent? Daniel Jones, for me, has a lot of playmaking ability, but he's just so inconsistent. And you never know what defensive performance you're going to get from the Giants either. I feel like they're a team that's either going to hold you to less than 10 points or else allow 35 plus. I know it's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm just not sure about this Giants team. Like, I had them at 9-8 coming into the season, and they fell on my power rankings quite a bit. But I don't know. I honestly feel like they have a lot of potential. They just need to keep putting it together like they did on Sunday. So, moving them up 5 to the 27th spot. 26, I have the Jets. They finally won a game, and it was against the Titans, who I previously had ranked at, I think, number 7 on my power rankings last week. I'll have to double check that. But Zach Wilson finally had himself a good performance, almost 300 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. He looked like he was controlling that offense well. There was a throw that was really impressive to Corey Davis where he actually redirected Corey Davis downfield and hit him for a touchdown. That was really impressive. That's stuff that you honestly see from Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. Being able to command the offense like that and redirect guys if needed, that's awesome. So, glad to see Zach Wilson finally having a good performance. I'd like to see him keep it up. 25, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers going down by 4. Guys, I'm just going to start with this. Ben Roethlisberger is done. I don't think he should have come back this year. I think he should have retired. I know they don't have a very good offensive line. I see that. But Ben Roethlisberger is making a lot of really, really bad throws. He's holding the ball too long. He's not releasing it as fast as he did last year. The defense really isn't playing out of their minds either. I feel like it's still a very talented defense, but they've kind of underperformed if you ask me. So, yeah, Steelers are in a rough spot. I have them at 25 right now. 24, I have the Miami Dolphins, another team that I was high on this season. I had them as a 10-7 team. I realized that having Tua Tagovailoa out is really, really big for them. But even without him, you should be able to put some points on the board. You should be able to, stay competitive. I feel like they let the Colts stomp all over them. I want to say the Colts scored, 27 points. Someone correct me on that. I don't have it pulled up right now. But I believe they scored like 27 points on the Dolphins. They're not playing like the team I thought they were. I'm not sure they're going to be a 10-win team at this rate. So I have them at 24 right now. 23, I have the Chicago Bears going up by 2. I feel like if Matt Nagy continues to not call plays, and they let Justin Fields stay out there instead of Andy Dalton, this Bears team can make some noise. But I feel like Matt Nagy's still too stubborn that, once Andy Dalton is healthy, he's going to be back out there. It's going to be Andy Dalton. And I think Matt Nagy's making a dumb decision in doing that. Let Justin Fields, go out there and get some experience and, learn how to be an NFL quarterback. His performance this Sunday was a lot better than last Sunday. I can see some improvement. So, yeah, I don't know. This Bears team is just really confusing to me. I'm just not sure what to make of it all. I know Matt Nagy's just not a good coach, and honestly, he's his own worst enemy. I mean, they traded up to the number 11 spot to draft Justin Fields. Keep playing him, He's, in my opinion, playing a little bit better than Andy Dalton. But at the number 22 spot, I have the Denver Broncos going down by 2. Now, a few things to cover here. I've been saying that, the Broncos hadn't really played anyone tough, and that's why they were 3-0. And I will say a lot of that really showed on Sunday when they played the Ravens. I feel like even when Teddy Bridgewater was out there, the offense wasn't really doing much. I mean, Teddy's final stats were 7 of 16, and I want to say 65 passing yards. Now, for those of you who don't know, Teddy Bridgewater did get a concussion in that game. I want to say it was either early third quarter or late second quarter. Can't remember if it was before or after halftime, but even while Teddy Bridgewater was out there, they just didn't look energized. They didn't look like they were ready to play. And in my opinion, I think that's kind of more of the Denver team that we're going to see. Denver's defense is still great. I feel like they, are still a really good defense. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be good enough to carry the offense, and really get them to 10 wins. So, 21, I have the Washington football team going up by 3 after a comeback win against the Atlanta Falcons. That's a sentence we actually say quite a bit. Falcons blow a lot of leads. But no, great win. Taylor Heineke, he looks good back there. He looks really, really poised. He's doing well under pressure. He looks good back there. I would really like to see Washington's defense, tighten up a little bit. They're not playing how I expected them to this season, so that's really what's holding them back. But if they can get back to the form they were in even last year, they should start winning a lot more games. Number 20, I have the New Orleans Saints going down by 4 after an overtime loss to the Giants. The Saints team is so confusing. One week they'll be extremely dominant and just destroy their opponent. The next week they will just not play very well and lose, They've beaten the Packers and Patriots, but they've lost to the Panthers and Giants. I don't know what to make of this team. This team is so confusing to me. Is it a team that's going to figure it out and win 10 games? Or are they, really just a bad team that's only going to win 5 to 7 games? I don't know. This team is so confusing to me. I really don't know what to make of it. So number 19, I have the Cincinnati Bengals going up by 4. Bengals continue to play really well, and if they keep it up, they could be in the top half of my power rankings soon. I'd like to see them play well against some of my higher ranked teams. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes, but Joe Burrow's playing well. This defense has been playing a lot better than I expected it to. I thought it would still have a lot of holes. The O-line, while I wouldn't say it has been good by any means, it's been a lot better than I expected. I expected Joe Burrow at this point in the season to be possibly the most sacked quarterback in the league. He's not. He's tied for 5th most, which still isn't good, but the Bengals O-line has done better than I expected. So, number 18, I have the Vikings. Like I said at the beginning of the video, they lost, but they kept it very, very close against a very high-ranked Browns team. So they're not moving at all here. Their rush defense, I feel like, showed up pretty well again on Sunday. Their defense is showing me exactly what I have been looking for. I said at the beginning of the season, they're going to have a high-powered offense, but they're going to need to step up on defense. Last week against Seattle, their pass defense showed me that. Then I was like, okay, well, I think they're going to lose to the Browns because I don't think they'll be able to contain the run quite as well. They showed me they can do that as well. So if the Vikings can continue playing like that, they're going to start winning some games. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be this low scoring of a game. I expected both teams to put up 20 to 30 points each. Final score is 14-7, so that was very unexpected, but props to the Vikings defense. They played very well, in my opinion. Number 17, I have the Colts going up by 2. They finally got a win. They played tough against the Dolphins. I've been saying, the Colts had such a rough start to this season that after starting 0-3, everybody wrote them off like they, were going to be a bad team. I feel like their defense is still solid. They still have a really good offensive line. And if Carson Wentz can be even decent, they'll start winning a few more games. Number 16, I have the Patriots. Now I'm actually moving them up by 1. They were very competitive with the Buccaneers. They were a missed field goal away from beating them in primetime. Mac Jones, biggest thing, okay, I know he wasn't throwing down the field, okay, I get that. But he looked so calm under pressure. He was so good about getting the ball out quick, not panicking. He was able to find guys open. He was utilizing his checkdowns. If you get him a good O-line and actually give him some protection, I feel like he can be really good. I'm impressed with Mac Jones so far. And, because of their performance there, even though they lost, I think it's enough for them to go up by 1. 15, I have the Carolina Panthers dropping by 1. Now, they allowed 36 points against Dallas. The rush defense, I don't know what was going on with the rush defense. I will say the D-line was getting held quite a bit. There were a lot of calls that the refs missed, but I'm not gonna throw out many excuses here. The Cowboys were just the better team, and they got a pretty convincing win over the Panthers. I think the Cowboys are honestly a strong Super Bowl contender at this point. They've played really tough. Their defense has been a lot better than I expected them to be. But yeah, Panthers, I think they're going to really need to start bouncing back these next few weeks, because that was a tough loss to Dallas. 14, I have the 49ers dropping by 3. This was a close game against Seattle. Now, I'll say Trey Lance actually played really, really well when he stepped in. No turnovers, actually. He threw 2 passing touchdowns. He looked good out there. It's hard to tell if he's ready to start yet. It's really hard to tell if he's necessarily NFL ready, because I'm not sure how much Seattle planned for Trey Lance, but he looked good out there. He was very good at moving through the pocket. But the defense allowed 28 points. They ultimately did lose to Seattle. I feel like there were other teams that deserve to be higher here than the 49ers, but it's not too late for them. The 49ers are still a solid team. They're just in a really tough division right now. 13, I have Seattle going up by 2 after beating the 49ers. Yeah, not really much to say here. They looked good. Russell Wilson had another good day. I feel like their defense played pretty solid. Yeah, I don't feel like there's really a whole lot to cover here because everything that we saw has been stuff that we already kind of knew was going to happen. So, number 12, I have the Titans going down by 5 after an overtime loss to the Jets. Now I'll say, I don't have anything against the Titans, but it made me pretty happy to see the Jets beat the Titans. I like the Jets a lot more, now that they don't have Adam Gase, and their fans have been through a lot, seeing them get a couple wins, I feel like is going to be nice. I really like Robert Saleh. I think Zach Wilson's really talented. I think they deserve to get a few wins. So, that was awesome. Titans just had a bad performance. They did have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown out, so had they played, that probably would have been the difference in this game. Titans probably would have won that. But still a well-played game by the Jets, and I have the Titans dropping by 5. Number 11, I have the Raiders going down by 1. They had a tough game against the Chargers. They were down 21-0 at halftime. Then they came out in the third quarter, made it a 14-21 game. Then there were just a few key mistakes when the Raiders were trying to come back. Derek Carr threw a key interception, and the Raiders ended up losing. But I still feel like the Raiders are a very tough team. They've got a good defense. I don't feel like Derek Carr is going to go on this crazy losing streak. I think the Raiders are still a great team. But number 10, I have the Ravens going up by 3 after a very dominant win against the Broncos. Their defense started looking a lot better. Lamar had another pretty dang good day. Yeah, Ravens looked good out there. Number 9, I have the Chiefs going down by 4. Now, excuse me, guys, I'm getting a little sick. I apologize. Now, I realize that the Chiefs won, but their defense just isn't it. That's why they're dropping by so much, is when your defense is that bad, you've got to do better. They kept it a pretty close game with the Eagles, really about all game. They allowed 30 points to the Eagles. I get that they have a very high-powered offense, but the Chiefs aren't going to be able to put up 40 points every single game. The defense has to step up, and ultimately that's the reason why I dropped them here. If they can tighten up a little bit, yeah, they'll crawl back up my power rankings. But for right now, their defense is looking rough. Number 8, I have the Green Bay Packers not moving up or down at all. They beat the Steelers by 10. Now I'll say, like I mentioned before, Ben Roethlisberger's done. The Steelers didn't really look like a team that really wanted to fight a whole lot. They didn't seem to play with much heart. They looked like they kind of just gave up, if I'm being honest. I feel like they're in a really rough spot. So this type of win, I don't think it's enough to move the Packers into my top 5 or anything like that, but they're still a very, very good team, so they should definitely stay within the top 10. Number 7, I have the Dallas Cowboys moving up by 2. I strongly considered moving them into my top 5, but I just feel like there's 6 other teams here that have been playing really well all season as well, and I don't really see any reason to drop them. But if the Cowboys keep playing how they have been, they're gonna find themselves inside the top 5 really soon. So number 6, I have the Cleveland Browns. I'm dropping them by 3. There's a couple reasons for this. Mostly, okay, I did have the Vikings as the number 18 team. So to keep it that close of a game, I feel like it was a pretty bad performance by the Browns, if I'm being honest. But the other things here are, I'm just gonna get into number 5. Okay, this is one of the biggest reasons. Chargers played very, very well, and because of their performance, that made me have them jump the Browns. It was more because of the performance of these other teams going up, is what made me lower the Browns. If the Browns would have absolutely dominated the Vikings, probably would have been a different story, probably would have kept him at number 3, but these other teams just dominated their games, and the Browns kept it too close against the Vikings for my liking. So, yeah, we have Chargers at number 5. Justin Herbert, I feel like, should very well be considered as an MVP candidate. He's playing out of his mind right now. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say. The Chargers defense has also been playing very well as well. Number 4, I have the Arizona Cardinals going up by 8. I'll be honest here. I very strongly had them considered having them being my number 1 team here. They've been playing out of their minds. Kyler Murray might now be my early vote for MVP, but it's hard to tell. Right now, I'd say it's probably between him and Matt Stafford, and probably Mahomes would be my number 3. But yeah, the Cardinals are playing very, very well right now. I feel like if they can keep it up, they can move to my number 1 spot very quick. Number 3, I have the Rams dropping by 2. These top 5 have been so tough to say for me. I feel like the Rams are still a really good team, but their defense hasn't been what it was last year. Their defense has been playing very rough. They got annihilated by the Cardinals. I thought that was definitely enough to drop them a few spots here. Number 2, I have the Bucks not going up or down at all. They kept it too close, to the Patriots. I feel like they should have, should have gotten a way more convincing win than that, in my opinion. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Then the Bills, I have them as my number 1 team, going up by 2 spots. Josh Allen looks like he's back in MVP form. That defense is looking a lot better. Now, if you recall, in 2019, the Bills had an amazing defense, just an incredible defense. But their offense just wasn't quite there, so they could only, be led to 10 wins. Then last year, Josh Allen completely erupted and played out of his damn mind. So the offense was just absolutely insane, but the defense was allowing a lot of points. Now I feel like everything is finally meshing together, and the Bills could very well be the best team in the AFC, maybe in the league. So right now I have them as my number 1 team. So yeah, these are my power rankings for week 5. Let me know what you agreed with, what you didn't agree with. Again, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. I'm really trying to grind to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So, if you like the content, please make sure to subscribe. But that's all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you next time. Later.